Hello, welcome to Trew Recovery with me, your friend, Russell Brand. A reason I mention that I'm your friend is because, look, you're coming to me with your problems, and this is where I'm going to help you with them. Why wouldn't I? Because, look, after all, I have written a book about how I solve my problems, so I'm definitely qualified to start interfering in your lives, or am I? Let's see. Annabelle Davey. Hi, Russell. Do you think some people are made to be in a relationship and some people ain't? I've experienced loneliness for a lot of my life. I've never had a boyfriend, and I can't seem to attract men to want to pursue a relationship with, or I want to pursue a relationship with. Should I continue to think that I'll find a boyfriend one day, or accept that it may never happen? I don't really know if everyone's made to be in relationships. I don't know if that's true. It seems that a lot of cultures have a sort of monastic tradition where some people just don't do that, where some people don't live normal domestic householder lives. They instead go off and pray, meditate, tend to the land, try and get in touch with consciousness in a different way. So I certainly don't think that, well, if you haven't got a partner, you're not a complete person. That's not the way that I see reality. I would look inside yourself, Annabelle, and see what it is you feel that you're looking for. And, you know, whether or not, I mean, there's all sorts of questions about the type of gender of the person you're going for, the age of the person that you're going for, whether or not another person can ever fulfill you. My personal experience has been when I've been in a good space myself, mentally and spiritually, everything else has taken care of itself. So my focus has been on my own self-awareness and my own self-development, and then relationship stuff's taken care of itself. I hope that's useful to you. Jack Perry goes, Russell, tell me how you deal with staying substance-free. I'm in the early stages and it seems like it's going to be a miserable daily fight. Does it ever get easier? Love you. You've found time to love me even when you're going through all this struggle. It definitely does get easier, mate. It gets much, much easier. At first, all you can think about is, oh God, I'd love some drugs just to take the edge off reality. But then you realise after a while, after doing a particular type of work, if you get the communion of others and attend, I would suggest self-help groups where different addicts or alcoholics come together to solve their common problem using a program. Once you do that, you start to realise you weren't taking drugs just because it's a bit of a laugh. You were doing it to deal with some feelings. And once you start to experience those feelings differently, face them, feel them, accept them, you recognise that you're in a lot of pain. And unless you address that pain, you'll always be in some version of pain. Drugs stopped working for you, didn't they, mate? Otherwise, you'd still be taking them. It definitely gets easier. Other problems come. Life continues. We are mortal. But life can be beautiful, moment to moment, day to day. The early part of recovery is very, very hard. Well done for starting your journey, mate. It does basically get easier as long as you work at it, stay focused, and are willing to accept help from other people. Good luck, mate. Bizmasher. Hey, Russ. How does one deal with loneliness? I feel that companionship often doesn't quite fill the gap. How does one move towards being alone but not lonely? Keep up the good work, Sam. Well, Sam, aka Bizmasher, you said there yourself, companionship sometimes doesn't work because it's really easy to feel alone and trapped in your head. Much of us feel like we just live in a continual, if not loop of thoughts, because there may be variety in the thoughts, certainly trapped in the circuitry of our mind, when what we really need is connection. All addiction, I think, comes from a lack of connection. And loneliness, I think, is a peculiar condition of our time that's difficult to talk about. But let me tell you, many, many, many people feel it. So if all of us are feeling the same thing, how alone are we? I reckon what is a way of overcoming loneliness. Yes, there is literal companionship, but part of it, I think, is honesty. Honesty with yourself and honesty with others. When I'm talking to people about problems, I always, very near the beginning, tell them I'm in the right state, me. And then they sort of go, oh, all right, it relaxes people. It's disarming. Don't feel that your loneliness is something to be ashamed of, because then you've got the feeling of loneliness, then the feeling of shame. Just be honest about the loneliness. People will find it endearing. I already find it endearing, and I don't even really know you. So there's a degree of loneliness, I suppose, in being alive, because we're told that the material, mechanical world is the only way that we can provide solutions to our problems. But I find that within my own consciousness, there's something in there with me. I'm not alone in there. It's not just my thoughts and my feelings. It's the experiencer of my thoughts and feelings. I think it might be the same as the person who experiences your thoughts and feelings, or the phenomena person might be a bit of a simplistic way of looking at it. So whilst many things in the exterior world are an illusion, I believe many things in the internal world are an illusion, including your loneliness. But as a simple tip, try honestly speaking to other people about it, and I think you'll find that the companionship you speak of will become more nurturing and effective. I hope that information's been of some use to you. If it hasn't, just try and remember it later at a time when it might be. I'm Russell.